Grab your pens, grab your pencils, grab your papers, and class is in session. It is essentials.tf, and we are proud to bring you the best of the best, or at least deciding who is the best in this ETF2L 6v6 Spring 2024 Upper Bracket Final. This one decides who gets into that grand final spot, guaranteed, and who gets knocked down into the lower bracket. I'm TurboTabs. I'm joined by Workhorse Beta, who was in that lower bracket for a little bit, casting it live. How did that go, Beta?
It went really well. It was me and Wandum. It's always a good time. JMX on production, and we had a really close map and one map that just got rolled and was over real quick. It was a bit of a whiplash thing, but I'm happy now to see that Mandem's going to go over here against Four Fence. Obviously, Mandem, they're trying. If they win today, they have officially dodged the third place merchant slander. Whereas Whereas if Four Fence win, they are really close to being one of the first all French rosters to actually win Prem.
Yeah, it is truly a history in the making for at least some of these teams if they can get the win going, maybe even the loss going if it happens again. And Mandem, they're really struggling to get this evil little gremlin off their back here, Beta. And I know everyone loves to make these jokes. I'm pretty sure I see 2 other streams open right now with jokes in their title about Mandem and this goddamn third place. This is the super team that everyone was kind of expecting to win things straight out of the gate. Why has it taken them this long, Beta?
You know, I don't have a good answer for like why they've struggled so much, but I actually have this feeling that this season it's different. I think sometimes the best way to win is to just lose a whole bunch and then all of a sudden you just start winning. That is just sometimes what happens. And if you get those playoff scars, you're just used to it. It doesn't affect you the same way. And as long as you just don't let it get to your head, it can actually just help increase your overall prowess in the playoffs, right? Because it's already gone as bad as it can possibly get. So what do you even have to be nervous about? I believe this is the season, TurboTabs, that Mandem is finally going to actually live up to the promise. They've had a perfect season, ended third. They had a really good season, ended third. This time, very clearly the number 1 team in Prem. There's no way they're ending third again.
All right, so talk to me about these opponents. Four Fence, the all-French lineup. We've seen many French lineups in the history of ETF2L's grand escapades, but what makes this one just so much more powerful than its previous French compadres?
I'm not sure. I always feel like the French teams are really solid, but this is just one of those rare times where it just all seems to click for them. And it is a very solidly constructed roster. I don't think it's like extraordinarily so, but it is a very good team. They have Nevo, who's a really experienced pocket scout. He won with the Aura Electro, I believe. And then you have QB, very strong DM scout, can play sniper. Probably not going to see that here on Bagel to begin with, but definitely keep it in mind. Then you have Rons and Bruceman, 2 extremely good soldiers. Rons, like super high DM. He will just skill check out the soldiers all the time. He'll just jump in. I remember watching like Silentus just over and over again on Metalworks, just getting jumped solo by Rons and just getting destroyed by him. So like he will just do that to anyone. And then Deli is an incredibly strong demo man who just came right into Prem when he was really good, and he's never not been good. So very, very strong. And then Jukester on Medic, good Medic. And it's just a very, very strong roster, but what makes it different from other French rosters, I'm not so sure.
I love that little roster rundown. I'm going to take a page out of your book and I'm going to run down through Mandem and just give some nice words as well. Obviously, we got June playing the medic. She has really sort of that skill factor left in that medic class. A lot of other medics that have gone and waved goodbye from the scene. You don't really see too many people kind of taking the mantle, but I feel like June really is a kind of top class skillful medic and just kind of managed to pull out these sort of moments out of it. It's really nice. Fancy is obviously a hit on the Devilman. He is going to be a force, I think, on this team. Obviously, he's the one that won that Devilman of the season when he kind of first came into Prem. So that is obviously the kind of team that was built around him with this MANDEM squad. And Lardox and Haunts playing the soldiers respectfully. Haunts and Lardox. Lardox, a new person added to the roster. Still a question mark in my eye, but you can't really argue with the results. They've managed to get to the top of the season, so he's going to be doing something right. While Haunts just seems to be, again, another one of those skill checks, like you mentioned, of a soldier. And I feel like he does really good work on just these mids as well. And what can we say about Zoe and Boulder, or Insu, if we're going to change our branding here for the Israeli? These scouts are monstrous. I remember having conversations with other players about these scouts, and they just say they're different. They're different kind of breed of scouts entering the fold of this Prem. And I mean, do you agree with these, Beta? Have I made any lies so far?
I mean, you say it's a different breed, but it kind of feels like Baldur is very much in the vein of Tomas and other great pocket scouts. So in that way, he's not different, but also he's being compared to some of the best players in the world. So I don't think he's gonna complain about that one too much. It is a very strong team. I feel like, yeah, Hans is a very aggressive player, and what's actually a kind of type of play that I've noticed a lot this season is soldiers jumping in and then jumping back out without dying. It is a very difficult thing to get an Uber Force out while not paying for it with your life. But it has happened for quite a lot of soldiers, but I feel like it happens for Hans more than anyone else. So that is a very impressive stat that I cannot prove is true in any way. And I also don't know how you would prove that with logs. That is just pure eye test, but I'm pretty sure he's the best at that.
Yes, unfortunately, there is no space stat in logs. Oh, how I wish there was a space stats in logs for my gameplay, but sadly, no. Anyway, Peter, this is the upper bracket final. This does mean you get a safety net for one of these two teams. So if you mess up, all you can get is a little bit of like pointing and laughing for a few players outside of this upper bracket. But in the grand scheme of things, they do have a second chance. They can play off against Getter to rejoin whoever takes this grand final spot tonight. And I mean, is it really kind of a faux pas? Do you need to win the upper bracket final to set yourself up pretty, or is it just kind of a forced scrim?
No. I think it's actually very impactful to win this. Not only mentally, which I think is kind of more pronounced than it would normally be, just because of MANDEM's playoffs history, but also just this is a very close season, and every single match there's a chance that you lose, because when you're this closely matched up together, if you just have like a slight off day, that can just be it. You can just lose because of just the way things match up on that specific day. You don't want to take that kind of chance. So you absolutely want to win this and secure your place in the grand final, because Sketter is not to be trifled with. They can absolutely just steal 2 maps. We just saw them roll Garda 3 times, like 3 rounds in 5 minutes. It was nuts, and you don't want to just go up against a team that can do that sometimes. Why would you take the chance?
Yeah. No, nothing scarier than a dark horse that's starting to believe in itself, and Sketter does strike me as that. And I think as well, not many people I think are going to criticize or kind of judge Sketter if they stumble a little bit, which gives a lot of teams, reinforcement in their actions. If you've got nothing to lose, like you've got everything to gain. Anyway, Peter, I wanted to talk about the fact that in the upper bracket finals, we do have full onslaught of bans and picks. No, little mini map pools for these week by weeks. They've got access to the entire map pool of ETF2L, and I've got the maps here for you right now. Our first map's going to be Bagel, which I believe was a choice by Forfence, and then MANDEM decided to pick Process. And then the final sort of map that eked out after all the bans were kind of done, mainly in Mandem's favor, we landed on Snakewater. Is anything that's kind of jumping or catching your eye here, Beta?
I think the main eye-catching thing is the cough pick. Right, Process is a super normal map. I think every team is fine with Process. It is the baseline map in competitive TF2. But Bagel is a relatively new map. It's a COF map, so it just plays very differently from anything else in the map pool, or at least all the 5 CP maps. And also, this is one of those where you don't really play sniper. It's actually kind of surprising to me that they would pick this, because I could totally see them just parking QB on sniper every once in a while. That would be really good, but obviously Viaduct would be much better for that. But I assume that was banned out early on, so maybe they just like the chances here on this COF map, and I could definitely see that just having to do with being able to send Bruceman and Rons behind and cause absolute ruckus in this lobby system that kind of connects the spawn area to the middle. If there's a soldier that goes in there, he just kind of gets lost in the ether. And he can come out any door at any time, it feels like. And there's a lot of medkits in there as well, so he's going to be healthy. Stopping soldiers from going back there, that's going to be a huge part of this map. And if you don't time it right, and you don't notice someone's back there, we've seen teams really struggle with that before. I kind of have a feeling that it has something to do with that, but maybe it's just I like our chances just going up through pure DM in these fights, or maybe just swinging from side to side. So I think that's why they would think this is their good map.
Yes, it truly is a map rejoicing for all the soldiers out there. I'd love to get into it really as a map thing. There was even some forum posting about this wonderful Bagel map, but I don't think we've got much longer until these teams decide to fire the gun and get our upper bracket final starters. So I will end on this, Peter. Who's going to win? Flat out.
I think that MANDEM's going to win 3-1. That is my bold, hot take. They're going to take this offensive map.
What about this map, though? Like, what do you think the scoreline's going to be? Ooh.
3-1.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, I thought you were talking about like the best of 3, but I guess.
No,
wait.
I
guess
haven't
how
thought
you
that
play?
far ahead, Turbo Time.
Touche. Fair enough. Okay, 3-1. That is competitive. That is a very common sort of scoreline for these upper brackets. There's always just one team that manages to kind of punch up, but they can't quite close it out past that first round. I'll be your devil's advocate, though. I think the Frenchies have a bit of magic in the air. I can feel it. Vive la resolution. I can't speak French. Oui. All right, if you're just joining us, this is our upper bracket final. It's our first map. It's 4fence versus MANDEM. What's happening on this mid-fight, Peter?
It looks like Bootman's going to take the house pretty aggressively here. You can see QB kind of backing him up, but so far both teams are just standing back, spamming each other out, trying to see if they can catch anyone out and get a bit of damage. Actually, Hart's going to take quite a lot of spam here, so he's going to have to use up his own medkit. And Nevo is slowly putting on some pressure on the point, but we're not getting a whole lot. Actually, some action on the left side of the house, and Bootman's going to be the first one to go down.
Yeah, it just looks like a bit of cat and mouse gameplay. Everyone's favoring on that right house over on the perspective of MANDEM, but they're all just like a couple of seconds late in punishing each other, and it seems the overextension comes from Bruceman, and that kind of gets the dominoes rolling and the point rolling for MANDEM. And it's all about those precious seconds on this map here, Peter.
Yeah, the man advantage was actually pretty heavily in favor of 4fence here, but they don't manage to get the cap out of it. The Uber exchange has now come in. Balder's really far forward. Actually, June might get caught out here. No, going to survive. And all of a sudden, this Uber exchange has gone so much better. Rons comes in from behind, takes down Medic. There we go. Jukester is dead. Deli's going to go down as well. This is just a complete victory here for MANDEM. What a great Uber exchange from them.
I don't mean to doctor the situation already, Peter, but it looks like 4fence are really struggling in punishing these soldiers. They seem to like get in, and not always in a favorable situation, but they get out pretty clean. You kind of called it here. Haunts just gets away with it.
Yeah, it is just something he is extremely good at here. Actually, another jump in, very aggressive. Bruceman just juggles June into a corner. Nothing she can do. She's just going to end up going down. Jukester will now retreat actually alone. You can see, just desperately wants to hold on to this Uber, but can the demo man even get out alive? No. So, yeah, Jukester survived, but everyone else went down. So this is a bit of an awkward situation where they want to push back out here before Juke can come in and give all the heals, but at the same time, they lost the demo man and the scout.
All right, so they get buffed up and they start pushing out already. They do have a little bit of heals on their side that they can maybe get. Oh no, well, June's already joined to the fight, so even with the heals, they have an Uber advantage, but it's not quite an Uber just yet. They're going to lose a couple of people on the flank. They're chasing for Kubi. They can smell blood in the water. The blood fights back. Meter gets the kill onto Inso, and Hunt's maybe a lifeline here, trying to get on top of Juxta, only manages to get the demo man, and yeah, not quite what they were hoping for. The Uber charge is active now for Forfence, but they don't want to use it aggressive. I think they want to be greedier than this, Peter.
As long as they don't see June, there's no reason to really use it.
Oh, Bell, fancy. He got caught out. He was kind of left in no man's land.
He wanted to go in so badly, but no one else was able to follow him in. So there's some stingies on the floor. They're not being cleaned up. You can see June just having to dance around them. It's really annoying. She's going to be very late there to go forward with the team. But actually, they're going to pop in now. Going to be an Uber exchange, just running in with the scout. Actually, they're going to kind of sort of split up in here in the house. And Larix has gone down on the flank. So this is looking pretty damn solid for Forfence.
Yeah, but they do have that camp during all of that, so they're just playing it nice and cool and calm and collected here, Beta. Why fight? Why proceed to push them out if you just have the camp, but they kind of throw enough players at them to lose a few people here and there, and Forfence do strike now and go a bit more forward. They are holding close to the doors here, making them sweat for it.
Yeah, Ron's almost managed to get June as well there on the retreat. Not quite able to do so. June has probably been the medic so far this season that has had the most success just surviving unsurvivable situations. Very, very difficult to kill, and that was just another example of it. Bruceman kind of has so much room to work with here, but doesn't actually jump on it. I don't think he realized how open he was.
Ooh.
Cap going to go down. Juxta gets juggled, and there we go. That's an Uber force coming out of them. June doesn't have an Uber yet, but she is just way back there in the corner, waiting to go in once she has the Uber, and there we go. They have it. The repush is about to come in. They all have one man down, which can make this very uncomfortable for them. Might just wait it out a bit. Bruceman comes in, QB on the flank as well, but everything just ends up kind of trading out here for them, and as long as you don't have the point, trading is great.
Yeah, they are worried about this Uber charge, though. The threat of it alone is going to make it so they throw in everybody at poor June to see if they can pop a Uber charge, but sadly they're just going to have to deal with this Uber lording over them. They've even got a forward hold to contest and deal with now, but...
Like fancy hit like the fattest air shot, and that... like poor Daily jump in here. Actually, they're going to try to jump in. Nevo's kind of behind lines, still hasn't been dealt with. Actually, somehow gets the soldier kill as well.
That's 2 players down, Beta. 3 left on the squad, and with an Uber charge, with everybody dead, what good use is it?
Very true. They're going to cap it out here. There's a minute and 15 remaining here for Forfence. Only 10 seconds on the clock left to go down here for MANDEM. They're going to jump into soldier very aggressively here. Ruben's going to come in from the side as well, but yeah, so far this they've taken a lot of damage trying to go through this doorway. They have managed to get into mid, but they've taken a lot of damage to do so.
Yeah, everybody just seems to have their own little skirmishing fights, and it's all content. Poor Zoe just gets kind of gunned down there, and I mean, this is good time for Forfence to make this comeback. They actually pop off the Uber. Now, we've seen a lot of these sorts of initiating Ubers from MANDEM onto Boulder, but whether or not it pays off is down to whether or not Boulder can keep himself alive, and it actually gets picked off there. Soldier jumping in though. Lardox can't really make anything happen. Will feed to the machine, and the machine has 24 seconds left, Peter.
The focus fire there was so insane on Boulder. Just instantly got focus fire by everyone who had actually eyes on him and was able to shoot him. They all shot him, and they barely took him out. Really well done by them. They're doing the forward hold again. They're trying to walk through this door. Actually doing a pretty decent job on Lara's going to be the first person to go down. Finally, they have managed to bust out here. Demoman jumps in super aggressively on top of the point. Somehow still alive. But everyone's taking so much damage here on MANDEM. I don't think they can hold on here. Time has gone down. They only have 10 seconds remaining on the clock. It's a cleanup. And Forfence upsetting us here with another... Like, is it another case of MANDEM choking in the playoff? I don't want to say
round goes on the board, Beta. You hate a Beta. Literally 1 round on the board, and already you're making choke jokes.
They're not dying, they're choking. Yeah.
Quick, somebody get the Heimlich as we are entering another round. It's fine though. Beginner's luck. says MANDEM, as they did have a majority of the lead for that round. And let's see if they can kind of shake it off here. 4Fence already kind of set up on mid beta.
Yeah, another pretty slow mid here. You can see Bruceman and QB playing in the house. Last time around, I think it was Lardox that got picked off first, but actually, it seems like it's slightly better positioning. But Hart's gonna jump in very aggressively here, trying to get Bruceman, but Bruceman will survive. Ron's with the aggression as well. I think this is gonna be the call to go in, but Ron's getting juggled. Great pipe there. All of a sudden, the aggression not looking so hot here for 4Fence.
Man, they worked so hard on 4Fence to keep everybody healthy on that flank, and only for Delhi to just kind of wander in and die and make it all for naught. They pop off Uber on response over on MANDEM, and they're going to claim the point now just because they have more souls left alive. And, I mean, there's not really much of that respawner advantage compared to, like, say, a product here. So I think losing the point here and there just for cheeky time is worth it, Peter.
As long as you don't give up like the resupply advantage, it's good. And this time around, they had everyone alive, so there's no reason not to just capture it and get some time on. They're going to go in very aggressively now. You can see how much time pressure is on him. Evo actually gets picked off. There's some good stickies. Ron's in the house, though, doing his skill checking thing. Takes down a soldier on the flank. And it is a 3-on-4 situation right now, but the respawns are going to be better here on 4Fence. So these kind of trades are actually kind of good for them.
Yeah, they're striking a nice balance here on MANDEM, making these actions and play happen whilst they're trying to play the point and get this cap time completed over on 4Fence. It begs them to kind of overextend here just because they want to get some cap under their control. But they're timing it well. They have 100% Uber on both these teams, and it's almost like another pseudo mid-fight, but it's so hard to kind of have these situations and not have the point. They just pop off the Uber over on Boulder just to kind of get things rolling. They actually decide to just let Delhi die. They think an Uber charge is more valuable than the Demo Man beater.
Yeah, they might be right there. Fancy doing a good job of just shutting down the flank as they were trying to get in here. See Jukesta pretty far forward. I'm actually surprised. They can get flanked here and really get punished. Yeah, okay, now they go back. I was getting nervous here. But they have this full Uber now. Is it going to be worth it to lose your Demo Man? They have this forward hold that they have to break, but they actually do a really good job of...
the drop! The drop of the Jukesta. Fancy with the most basic stackies I've ever seen in my life. Getting the medic. They were just so anxious and trying to rush things out of this door here, Beta, trying to break the forward hold from just sheer force alone, and the force kills them.
June again surviving the following suicide wave as well. June always seems to survive these situations. Great situation now for MANDEM. They have lower time on the clock, they have superior Uber advantage, and they're doing a forward hold. It is all looking up MANDEM right now. So
it's a game that they care about here, Peter. We've got a pause. I don't think it's one of those technical pauses. This is a tactical.
It definitely lines up with the end of a round here for sure. So we should keep an eye out on this, see what happens. But so far we don't really technically know here, so we can just look at the forward hold going on right now. You can see QB is kind of through the choke, but there are stickies around there. So if Rons wants to go through with him, he's going to have to jump through, and that's going to be very difficult. And there are 2 scouts looking at him as well. And then you have Hans kind of looking up at these stairs. Can't really do much. He can do some spamming and then get out of there. If he overextends, or if he extends any farther, that's going to be an overextension for sure.
Peter, they say there's a lot of questions you can ask about a person to kind of learn who they are, and I think this is one of them. You know, some people like apples, some people like oranges, some people like rocking the soldiers on the right-hand side, some people like rocking the Demo Man on this right-hand side concrete. Which could be who in? Do you think this Demo Man where Fancy's holding right now is much better on this left, or do you prefer 4Fences where they put Delhi on where Lardox likes to hold?
I think it's interesting that you can do both, and I think the correct answer is to mix it up every once in a while, but also I think the correct answer is it's better on the left. I feel like soldiers can't really properly hold the left side because the door is too big. It's too easy for soldiers to jump through, and then once they jump through, then the soldiers have a difficult time actually hitting them. So it just becomes a way too even fight, whereas with the stickies, it's so often that you have someone jump through and then they get killed by stickies. It is so common to see, in my opinion. And just the fact that if they kind of halfway make it through, get onto the medkit, and then they want to get back out again, then they can't because there's going to be a sticky carpet waiting for them. So I prefer, from what I've seen, to have the demo on the left most of the time, is my answer.
I wonder if there's some stat play you can do here, just like, you know, hit onto trends.tf or something like that. Just pull up the raw stats of like which position holds and yields more results, I guess. I can do it by divs. Everybody seems to hold a Demoman on the left, but I've been seeing a lot of these higher teams kind of switching it up and changing the tune a bit, maybe even having the double soldier on the left.
Yeah, and it is definitely viable. I don't mean to say that you can't do it. And I love that you get to see people kind of figuring the map out like this, where they do different type of holds. This is kind of why I like having new maps in the map pool every once in a while, just because you can play some maps for a very long time before these metas get like not even figured out, but just you try out different things and see how they hold up, and it becomes much more complicated to play these maps because there are all these different moves you have to take into consideration, and then you gotta have counters for it, and and then all of a sudden, like an old strat becomes viable again because you have to take things into consideration. Okay, we have the soldier jumping through the left side here. They're gonna get taken down by both scouts. The right side has been broken, but looks like
Horns is flanked though. It was a bait, and the poor Juxta's the only one left alive, and a medic on his own is a sad thing in this world beta. They will get wiped out here, and it keeps hope alive for MANDEM in this round. I know it might be a different timer onto your screen, but it's certainly still about 30 seconds left.
Ooh, look at that. It's actually sticking to the other side this time around. It's not really a true forward hold. Ooh, barely misses the detonate on a soldier there. Lucky man. He shouldn't be alive, but he is. And now we just have a full-on fight here for this midpoint.
Oh, Ubercharge has ringed out. This is one of those sorts of desperations where you just move everybody forward to see if you can just get something happening in these final moments of the game. But I don't think Juxta's going to have anybody to heal, Peter. And Juxta goes down as well. Again, this is one of those situations where it looks silly on screen, but when you look at the context of the time, you have to just... oh, wait, you don't see this every day.
No, this is extremely rare that you get to jump in this time, this far, and this is a kind of bad move normally, but because of the time, they're just wasting so much time here that this is a perfect play. There's no way for anyone to get to the point. A really good play there by MANDEM. Those forwards hold were absolutely killer, and yeah, an unfortunate drop there as well, and yeah, that was it. That was the tag pause coming in for sure.
Wow, Bisa, that wasn't the Heimlich maneuver. That was the healing touch of God or something like that. They seem like a team reinvigorated, or at least analytically, as they're entering our third round now. It's time to break up this tie on this map. Let's see what both these teams have.
These mids, they're not that fast to really get going. They're gonna just look at where everyone's positioned and then maybe try to come up with a plan to overwhelm someone. It's usually a soldier jumping in the house that happens here, but actually we have Hawks jumping down the gullet here in the middle, and now there's both soldiers coming in here. Ron's going to jump onto the medic, but again, Jude, so slippery, just unkillable it would seem, and now Demoman in the skybox is going to get jumped, get taken down, and this is just an absolute bloodbath here from both teams, but MANDEM will get the first cap in.
Oh no, Nebo. I don't think he managed to get any shots off there onto poor MANDEM, and that really could have been the tide turner for that fourth end squad. But they reset, they don't lose everybody, and they still have this Uber charge, but they've just lost a bit of point pressure now with the timer ringing down to MANDEM.
They're trying to slowly edge out the point here. You see Bruceman on the flank. Ron's going to play forward, and actually we have an Uber exchange here. Fancy goes down really weak, so they can't really flash off of Fancy throughout this entire Uber. And yeah, he's still almost dying as Ron has now jumped in behind. We talked about this. This is so bad. Oh, he's going to get onto June as well, but actually somehow decides to walk the other way. What is it about June? June just has this force field where you can't shoot her if she's about to die.
Yeah, I think Juxta is also taking some of that shield, as he just kind of used the house, just got a massive building. Now that's a shield, as he just leaves whenever the sort of commotion have from this MANDEM squad. And notice a lot of these teams, Beta, like to pop these Ubers when these teams are trying to just cap under their noses. You know, just extend that timer for even mere 10 seconds.
Launch jumps through, takes a lot of damage, but he has spot enough space there for the rest of the team to walk out. So it's no longer a forward hold, it's just a normal mid hold. And actually,
quick pop. Yeah, they've used the Uber really tightly, so that means they already know that Juxta doesn't have the Uber charge in this exchange, but they kite them well enough that they hold on to their own Uber charge now. And you could say it's like a glorious milk here, because they haven't had a chance to use their Uber because they didn't have it, and now they do, because they have Juxta just alive and easy to disengage.
But can they actually get onto June and kill her, though? You can see she's holding pretty far back, but they're going to take in the Demo Man very aggressively, gets the first sticking onto her, but no, they actually lose the Demo Man for it. So difficult to catch. And I think they're just going to end up retreating here because they lost those two players.
It feels very much like an all-in, with the medic just backing out through the middle door, going straight into the bunker. Some Demo men, like Deli, just opt to just stay in the fire and flames and just put out damage and hope they can nick poor June, but they didn't quite catch her this time.
They're going to get another chance here at it. June has the Uber now. Can you actually force it out of her? They're actually going to go really aggressively on the flank. Their QB is still pretty healthy. Might get taken down though on the flank. No, makes it out. It's just going to end up being an even trade. But so far, they haven't really been able to pressure out June, get her in a situation where she feels like she has to pop to save some of her teammates. She's just been pretty happy here to bleed people off.
Yeah, it seems the play I favoured more when these sorts of Uber advantages is try and pick off these flank passes. Just try and force the situation from there. An Uber charge isn't really scary when there's not many people to kind of back up that Uber post. And they've used the Uber charge now, and because they have a bit more squad still remaining in their squad, they've managed to cap the point and get some good damage out and collapse here.
Yeah, they actually catch out two players here on the flank in the house. Really good stuff there. That's going to delay the push out here from MANDEM. They have 11 seconds left on the clock, which is not a whole lot. But this is actually pretty similar to what we saw before, where they actually ended up losing.
Uh-oh, Deli caught out on that right-hand side. Maybe you're right about that Demo Man. He's just way too vulnerable and goes down. And without a Demo Man, should be easy cap for the rest of MANDEM. No real major fire to kind of multi-hit all these classes.
3 seconds remaining. Turbo Taps, they need to get onto the point. They do have some cap time on, so it's not instantly going to end. But if they at any time let all that time tick down here on the point, there's no more blue on it, that just is an instant loss. Actually, they do manage to cap it out.
Oh no, but now it's a different game beat. So if they just cap it over on MANDEM, they've won this round.
They're going to take in the Uber exchange here with Nevo. Trying to spread the flashing Uber here, and does quite a good job of it, actually. It's a bit of a longer Uber here, but now it's just going to be an even fight. It's so hard to stop. They need to get on the point. They're just being warded off. They were trying to get there, but the soldier flank is doing so much work. They're pushing people around, unable to get to the point, cannot contest it. 2-1 in favor here of MANDEM. Are they about here to just do a gentleman's sweep?
Yeah, there's just your predictions right on the money so far, but it's just too much cheeky cap time coming out for MANDEM. They seem to kind of get these the first initial cap, and then they'll use any excuse to hold on to it or just get a couple of seconds off on that point. Our forefence are just struggling to kind of do the same sort of properties as that. No cheeky cap time, just major wins or major losses.
Very aggressive play right now for Fancy, going across the point. Actually dies to fall damage of all things. The Earth is just the champion there. And I think that's...
Ooh, close.
Yeah, Juxta does a nice little surf there. Actually, a second soldier comes in. No, unable to get those rockets on there. Yeah, Fancy goes aggressive across the point and instantly get punished for it.
Yeah, so you notice they used all of that flanking power whilst they were capping over on forefence, so it does delay a bit more time. Fortunately, they didn't cap that midpoint this time at the start of this round, so it's a little less potent making these sort of flank plays alongside the point. They managed to get a free Zoe kill, and now this might open up other flanks to kind of get creative here. It's like a license to die, Peter.
Kind of. And there's actually so much point pressure here as well. Just a single scout standing near it is going to be enough, but there we go. June actually takes a bunch of damage, going to have to pop out here. And the flashes are great for Juxta. Will they actually get out here alive though? June will make it out. Actually, point gets capped as well. Nevo gets killed on the flank. And once again, these MANDEM Uber exchanges are just so strong.
Yeah, they seem to favor a lot of this sort of cap the majority of it. Realize that the enemy team's going to block them on that, so just take the Uber exchange with the majority cap. Because when you're in the post-Uber fight, you can just cap the point so much easier because you just have so much time on it.
Yeah, and especially when you've baited the entire Uber away. But oh my god, Uber comes in from the flank, takes down the medic with a really nice air shot there.
She dies. She can die, Beta. She bleeds. Yeah. But Juxta not quite bleeding as heavily.
Nope. They're going to try to jump in everyone there, but Juxta is just the farthest back you can possibly imagine. Actually, a really aggressive jump in here from Delhi. He's going to set up a sneaky trap a little bit farther forward, I think. Nope. Changes his mind. I was getting all excited for nothing. This is the sloppiest, most ugly trap I've ever seen. But once again, looks like he's actually going to be holding right side with 2 soldiers left. So they're mixing it up a bit. I do like this.
This must be a cruel world to be Haunts right now. You can't shoot any of these stickies away. He has to... Oh no, he goes down to the stickies, the most simple stickies on the floor. And Brugman gets an arrow, manages to play off of that lobby area that Haunts was no longer occupying, and kind of gives a bit of an awkward push for Fancy to continue. So they have to back out there. I can see the dominoes falling here, Peter, and it's so annoying for MANDEM.
Yeah, Fancy should have died there as well, but a really nice arrow from June's going to save him midair as he doesn't crater. So they can actually push in quite a bit faster because of that save. But June is taking a lot of spam damage, goes down to 50 HP. This is so easy to drop or just be popped in this situation. Looks like Nevo's doing a great job of just denying all of this point milking here going out. But oh my god, they take down Delhi with this solo Uber.
Oh no, they're even going to get Rons as well. That Uber seems to last forever. How is that balanced, says Rons, as he will get picked off by the longest Uber of his life. And they might convert this into a forward hold. They have, Beta.
I imagine that Baldo's KD is just out of control right now. These solo Ubers that he's taking are so good, and he's doing such a good job of just cleaning up all the time. You can see he has 65 points and 3 dominations. Really, really strong game from him here. So there's going to be a bust on the right side, but Nevo eats a nice pipe there, but actually Fancy's going to be the farthest person forward. That's a bit of a dangerous situation, but everyone else now for Forfans have retreated back. Forfans, they do have less time on the point right now, so they can take their time, just make sure they don't lose everyone in a silly way and try to organize some sort of good bust out here.
Yeah, they've switched gears over on MANDEM. They've actually got Fancy holding the right-hand side now, and I guess it just goes to show the Doman how important of a factor when it comes to holding. Because if the sticky traps don't work, all the spam will get you instead, Beta. Oh,
speaking of spam, Fancy goes down. Really good spam there. It was Nevo that got the kill, but he wasn't really close to him. It was just all the spam, and oh boy, June has like the tragic Uber coming in here. But actually, Juxta might regret not popping Uber earlier.
Yeah, they just spent so much time holding on to this. Thank goodness for Delhi and his pipes to maybe turn this around, but there's so much left on their plate. Lorux is still unaccounted for. Coming in with the bomb now, gets a good amount of damage and takes out the medic from the equation. They just need to keep June alive at this point here, Beta.
Yeah, June sees she's running, but there's actually a scout on her. Okay, who's going to get saved there by Balder? Balder again. Just an actual Iron Man and a big wall standing between his medic and just everyone else.
Oh my god, the wall has 4 dominations here, Beta.
Yeah. Didn't I say he had 65 points like 2 minutes ago? He is 73 now. It is.
If you're looking at the stock market, buy Boulder right now. His numbers are just going so astronomically high. It just seems to be the gift that keeps on giving.
Oh, unfortunate there by Lardox. Actually ends up shooting himself. And so that was Brugman, I think, just ended up shooting himself in the face as he was slightly too high up here. And time is ticking down now. They just capped it out. It's 10 seconds remaining on the clock. Yeah. But
Oh no, there's nobody. You need to get people on the bodies and souls onto the point right now. It's time for the last stand here, Beta. Oh no, the last stand immediately got sat down.
there's no way Boozman can do this. Gets piped down. Time is running out. Oh, Nevo can't get there in time. That's going to be that. 3-1. I'm a genius. And a really questionable first round there coming out for MANDEM, but then just swept them after that.
Okay, all right, Beta. It's actually choking the other way. It was just this twist sort of ending. It seems 4Fence have balked their map pick of Bagel, and now
So I just looked at Baldur's Kitty.
oh, everybody's choking, apart from the one that's everyone's predicted to choke.
He went 29-3. 16 assists,
Okay,
430 DPM.
I'm sure it's
Jesus
not.
Christ.
What the? Oh my! That's not a game where, like, King of the Hill, everybody's just dying on the hill, constantly throwing themselves and bodies and souls at this point over and over again. For a man to get this sort of kill to death ratio is astounding. I mean, he did have a lot of Ubers, a lot of solo Ubers. He's a happy scout, but it's just a difficult world.
Yeah, it's actually really funny to look at the heal spread on the two teams. Fancy had 32% heals, Balder had 30% heals, and then Lardox was the next with 15, and then the other two at 10. Whereas on Forfeit, it's much more equally spread out, with Delhi being on 26, and then Nevo on 23, and 19,
Wait a
15,
minute.
14.
I'm trying to like add these numbers up here. Like, how many? You have to like split up Boulder into many chunks, I think, to kind of give them a bit of chance. But they are favoring all this scouting, and it felt, powerful. Those solo scout Ubers, absolutely no breaks in the Uber. Boulder was literally just playing hide and seek with the enemy team, and yeah, 4Fence, they're just struggling with MANDEM on multiple regards, Beta. It's not even just the Boulder factor. Haunts and Zoe had this sort of flank synchronization that just put them through a loop constantly. Lardox was getting in from behind consistently as well. There's not many aspects of the game that I could kind of root for in this 4Fence map pick.
Yeah, also, let's just acknowledge that Fancy had 481 DPM. that is a lot of damage per minute. Went 15 for 7. So if you want your scout to be able to clean up nicely, definitely having that kind of damage pillow or damage output of your demo man, that's gonna help a lot. So yeah. They struggled in the first round, but then after that they stepped up.
Yeah, it seems like everybody was kind of firing on cylinders here over on MANDEM. It was really nice to see. The one round that kind of slipped them was just that kind of dominating sort of forward hold, that long, decisive forward hold, and then just the time pressure getting to them. So, and we even had a little bit of a tactical pause there. Ron's, I could hear him shouting from here. I mean, I don't understand the lick of French, but I know when the man is angry, and I don't think he would be happy about this result.
Yeah, absolutely not. Hopefully, though, they can change it out here on this next map process. Just on the based on the fact that it's not a cough map, it's going to be very, very different. And also, Bagel, it's a very compact map. There's not a lot of room for errors, right? If you overextend just a little bit, you're going to have a demo man in your face. Like all of those escapes and close calls that we saw on this map are extremely difficult. And it's going to be a lot more forgiving to play on process, I feel like.
Yeah,
right.
It's a change of gear here, Beta. Thank goodness for 4Fence, because I think you don't really want to keep seeing King of the Hill if you want to keep your hopes alive. And DP plays a lot slower, a lot more kind of methodical, tactical in a way, and maybe a bit more devastating if you lose those first initial rounds. You can really lord it over the enemy team, whilst King of the Hill is like, no, 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 you must do it for 3 minutes straight.
Yeah, it can be very draining here and very taxing. But we're going to go to process. I always look out for, are we going to see some fast rollout shenanigans? you can definitely just jump in behind in sewers. You can steal the enemy kit. You can just take high ground and spam out the demo a little bit. Make sure he doesn't extend too much. I feel like we don't see all-in bombs on the demo man as much anymore.
Oh,
It
no.
is much more rare to see these days. It's not like in
Yeah.
the beginning time where everyone's like, "Oh my god, did you know that you can like fly through this choke? I'm gonna get on the enemy demo. Watch me."
Yeah, Caveman TF2 has died a death here, Beta. It seems everybody just knows the power of this Crusader's crossbow. If you make a little kind of fluff, or if you go for like a mini jump and it doesn't work out, just jump out there. Just get a crossbow from your happy medic and then just try and recommit in. So I think you're going to expect a lot of these teams to just try and punish whoever overextends just a little bit on this process mid and then kind of snowball it from there.
I have this weird feeling that if offense are gonna want to win these mids, the way they should do that is just to go all out aggressive. Just land Bruceman and Rons on their faces, just like literally right in their face, land on the rock, do a ton of damage, and then everyone just pushes across.
Bring back the Caveman TF2 blasphemy, Beta.
Don't just sit around and wait for the enemy team. Don't try to rotate around each other. That's for like nuanced, civilized people. They don't win anything. They don't get the girls. Go all in all the time.
Okay, I'm take hot dating tips. I knew my process mids was what was making me lose my charm here, Beta. I knew it.
Yeah, the metaphor doesn't hold up. I will admit, I lost track there somewhere along the line. Yeah.
All right, Beta. So process. We know how to figure out these mids. Are these lasts any more sort of? Is there any sort of hot dating tips I could use at these last points for these two teams? Maybe.
Chigs dig dudes who can do last pushes good. So you should practice your last pushes. It is the key to good dating or something. Definitely. I feel like MANDEM have been really one of the only teams this season that can just consistently take an advantage and just use it all the way into last and cap it out quick. They should keep that up. Make up your own dating thing. How that applies.
I'm guessing you need an Uber charge really advantage on these last pushes here, Beta. Is it just or is it one of those kind of easier last pushes to make in TF2?
Sorry, my internet died. Say it again.
Is the last on process hard, Beta, or is it easy?
I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5.
A 3 out of 5. So not the hardest, not a Badlands like.
No, and it's relatively okay to push out of. It's relatively easy to push into. You have options. I think there's a reason why Process is one of the most popular maps, as we are going in here to this second map of the upper bracket finals. Winner, well, Forfans, if they don't win here, they will fall down into the lower bracket final where they face off against Skeda. If they win, we go to map 3. Oh my god, Daily gets airshot and doesn't die.
Yeah, everyone's trying to kind of play kidnap on these things, but it's fine that your buddy Crossbow has got your runs. Oh god, he actually got hit with a. Oh, he's getting the air shot by multiple arrows and multiple rockets, just trying to keep everybody nice and alive and prescribed, and they're rotating each other out, trying to see if it can find some weakness. I think this is the way to deal with this Lardot's flank from behind. Just switch to the other side of the map. That does mean though that your medic can't get out though. So with Juxta going down now, June gets out, but it's not really getting out. It's more like moving forward.
It's just all up to QB. Can he? Oh no, he got sniffed out there by the scout chariot. One of the most terrifying sights of any TF2 comp player is just to see the double leashed scout with the medic on him. It is terrifying. Boulder with the 4K just immediately not slowing down at all, and that's a pretty nice win here coming out, but they need to actually be quick here, MANDEM, if they want to use this Uber into last, because if not, Jux is just going to be able to have his own Uber in time.
Yeah, that Uber is definitely going to come into the fold here, as they are basically have it now, and Rons is rocking the sniper as well. They've got a sentry gun to deal with. They pop in the Uber, they take out the sentry gun. They're already trying to set up some scout pressure on this point and just cap it outright. Somebody needs to get on the point. They even had an Uber charge beater, and they just give it up.
Oh, they fumbled it. They absolutely had that hold. They just need to be more aggressive and actually block the point there. Oh, what a blunder there. 4Fence, they gotta be absolutely furious with themselves, slamming the tables here. 1-0 now for MANDEM, and it didn't need to go this way. But we're gonna have another mid here, another fast rollout for 4Fence here. Just spamming.
He goes down to the spam and the focus fire of these scouts and starting off, and with a Demoman down, that's a death sentence for a mid, and they kindly get out over on 4Fence, and they're in a very powerful position here, Beta, with no... Oh, a double bomb coming out from Brugman. They see it coming, however, so I think they had no hopes of really holding on. Nevo is holding... And he does go down, but he does take a couple of souls with him, and Haunts goes in deep, tries to get the pick onto Juxta, not quite working out, however, and does allow his team to kind of hold and get the second point. Do they push out here, Peter?
Well, Delhi certainly wants to, and I don't really blame them. There are only 2 scouts. Scouts can't really spam, so you can get through chokes just easily here. So we have another Baldur solo Uber. This time around, he goes deep. Like, there's no way June gets out of this. Actually, she just times it perfectly. All right, there was a really nice Uber exchange once again here. They're not going to get much of a man advantage, but they are going to get all the space that they want here out in second. And actually, they are going to get a 1-man advantage here as Inzo goes in. Lardox looks like he wants to get onto medic. Justa jumps around, and somehow Lardox survives? Okay.
Oh my, yeah, lots of... Oh, Brugman gets the kill onto June in all that distraction and that clap for Lardox getting out. Nobody was watching out for poor little June, and when the dust finally settles, transcending between these 2 points, Beta, they will get their stinking second point back.
Looks like to me MANDEM is just letting this get a little bit too chaotic for their own good. As, oh my god, Cuba just absolutely plus forwarded Hawks there. Poor guy.
Oh. Zoe even gets forced from the forward, trying to get that snipe, and will rotate round into... They're still rocking the sniper class, however, this time at rollout.
Yeah, stays on it, believes in himself. Probably not going to expect that. I think we're just going to see Delhi walk through this choke without having too much fear. Actually, they are going through the upper lobby here, not popping through, not really getting into the sniper sideline. This is a pretty decent push out here, but the spam is so strong, and all of a sudden you just have the medic walking around alone with no one to heal. But hey, they got second point. They didn't have to walk into a sniper sideline. And sure, Ubers have equalized. They're not going to be able to use it into last, but overall, this is a very comfortable situation for 4Fence that they can absolutely work with.
Yeah, and they're already setting up this sentry gun aggressively over on into to make sure that they can maybe hold forward, stop these sort of snipers, stop these sort of classes kind of coming at the door and just playing any sort of spam game, or, you know, just coming into this point cleanly, basically. Ooh, snipe onto Delhi, and Bronze goes down to the sentry gun as well. It's double effective, and with 2 down, it begs the question, do they push out?
I think so, but it is quite dangerous. Looks like they don't actually want to here. Just the fact that Delhi is not here to set up sticky traps is going to be a big boon. And I was kind of wondering, maybe this would be a good chance to go for some shenanigans, you know? Like, we just saw Mantreds work out.
Brugman is literally 1 HP. He's done a deal with the devil, and he survived a sticky trap this time.
It works out sometimes. They're just going to pretend that it wasn't even dangerous. Okay, Soda jumps in. Sentrygon is warding him off here. And they've actually just taken the entire left side here with Nevo going down. I think that's going to be that. They haven't even spammed out the Sentrygon left. And yeah, there we go. Hey, that was a decent attempt. They have the Demo Man and the Scout here just to hold the second point. There's going to be stickies. You can run out the medic with the Scout. I don't hate this 3-man sack, but I would like to see some Mantreds, because Mantreds would make it so much easier to jump into a Sentrygon.
Delhi manning up and gets the pick onto Lardux, and I guess they want to set up somebody to maybe get in a position to clear out the sentry gun. It's in a very, very annoying spot, and you could even see Forfence's supposed answers for it is to kind of just throw in 2 soldiers on this left-hand side. They're seeing they can do it again. Ron's in for 3. Finds Bill, but Bill more likes finds him, and they lose Delhi again as well. But there seems to be not enough of a heavy cost for MANDEM to actually push out here.
No, they are peeking a little bit, just getting Baldur some open looks maybe. But they are in no hurry. Looks like they're very comfortable just taking it to another mid-fight. So they're not going to do anything over eager, anything that could overextend them for very little gain. So I kind of like taking this down. Ooh, the double teleporter frag. Insane stuff. Doesn't matter.
Look at all that free ammo on the floor, ready to just spam that area. Genius.
Yeah,
That's the reason,
it's actually sometimes when you don't have time to make a dispenser and someone's like low on ammo, you can actually just go build a teleporter next to him and then blow it up. You know, he gets full ammo. That is a real thing that sometimes happens.
Oh yeah, I'm not quite used to that change. The teleporters are cheaper, aren't they now? I
Yeah,
remember
it
when
costs
they used.
25.
Oh my god, do you actually get more metal back from just literally building it and destroying it?
Not quite, but it's close. but you know, you get more. Okay, Soldier jumps in, actually gets the force out.
Yeah, gets the pop. You'll be surprised how many of these soldiers on Prem managed to get the forces or the kills past this sentry gun. They've learned the arc of the sentries in all their time of TF2 beta, and it doesn't put them off as much as it used to.
Yeah, that was some beautiful W strafing. It's one of those good signs that you're probably a newbie if you do a W strafe, but actually, you know, it does allow you to look inside the circle that you're kind of rotating around. So in that situation, really good stuff. Exactly what the doctor ordered. They're going to go in through the one side here. Another teleporter massacre, and Hans also does go down.
Yeah, they've got Boulder put on this right-hand side, but Rons just claims the free June kill in sort of avoiding all of that aggro, all of that danger. Just goes into the waiting arms of Rons. I mean, he was telegraphed. He killed a teleporter. They've already got cap time as well. That round that they were lording over them for minutes at a time beater, all those opportunities to push it out, ends like this.
Yeah, maybe sometimes you should push your luck a little bit more. At the very least, this seems to be the refutation of the strat that MANDEM has chosen here. And it's going to be 1-1 once again. It always starts out pretty damn close. Soldier, not that aggressive. Just going to put a single spam rocket in choke, and let's see where he decides to jump from here.
So soldiers on 4th fence take the aggressive maneuvers. They're holding on top of the crates, and they want to be more reactive, it looks like, over on MANDEM. They're all opting to push the right side instead as a unit, but they've got Delhi blocking from them entering that doorway. June is going to get focused fire, so with Juk still alive but rotated to the other side of the map, this could get hairy here. They're relying on these scouts to do some work. Soldiers bumping into medics. There's only combat classes left, and can you smell a 4K? I can't.
Not quite, but hey, that was a really interesting mid, I feel like. There was a lot of combinations between being very aggressive and then being passive and rotating around each other. I do feel like the more aggressive and chaotic the game is, the more it favors 4th fence. It seems like they come out slightly ahead in those type of situations. Actually, Rons might go for something here. Actually, I thought he was going to get in, but he's just going to get the scout pick. Really nice 2 rocket there from him.
That feels illegal when you're playing scout. You're like, he's not supposed to hit me rockets like that. I'm in the air. I'm bulletproof. Or rocket proof.
Just shoot the ground like a normal person, Rons. What's wrong with you? Yeah, you're not supposed to get that kill. Anyway, there was a tiny Uber ad here on Dune, but not quite enough to really even... I don't even know if they were aware of it, but to actually get in there and use it properly would probably not be possible. So we're just going to settle in for a stalemate, see how they decide to break this. Process is known to be a map where you can absolutely send in soldiers through this choke. And it's actually very normal to send in a soldier first while everyone's looking and shooting at that guy. he just curves around, jumps out through the door, and then a second soldier comes flying through, and you're not going to have quite enough ammo to deal with it. That is kind of the standard one, but in Prem, I think you're going to see scouts pressing through lower as well, and then a demo man spamming stickies and pipes as well, just to make it a little more complicated and easier for the soldiers.
Boulder wants an Uber. He is begging for it. He's like, look, it worked in our first map, let's just do it again. But they realize they need to stop shooting Boulder and start shooting June, and June can't even get in. So they decide to scrap that idea of just getting a cheeky Uber in.
Calm before the storm. They're getting healed up. Looks like they're gonna try to maybe
try again.
Put some pressure in here through sewers. Maybe they're gonna send in the soldiers now. It looks like they're gearing up for a jump in. Here comes one soldier.
They're all trying to spam June, and June's just trying to navigate Minesweeper right now and stop all this initial spam. But that's a lot of resources being spawled out here in all of this sort of chaos. Nobody's really truly reloaded.
Oh, there goes Hart. I think he waited for all the spam to go out. Actually, airshots Deli a little bit, so Deli's very weak. We'll get cleaned up here. Juxta's behind line as well. Unable to get in here and actually heal his team. All the inso cleanup as well. It's just going to be Ron's alive. That's actually really beautiful. It was a big spam war, and then once everyone was kind of out of ammo, you saw the big Hans bomb in there. So they couldn't actually deal with him immediately, so really good damage.
I think what hurts in the spam war as well was Juxta was out. He had 31 HP. He didn't want to stay in the spam war anymore. And in a spam war with no heals, how could you possibly win, Beta?
Yeah, it's kind of in the name of the game. It's just don't get hit, but it's difficult when it's stickies and rockets all over the place. Very, very difficult. We actually have a sniper duel right now. Inso has gone sniper and offense. Gonna see if we can find a good view in here. Spots a soldier, takes a shot. They definitely know about him. He's even on the loud sniper rifle. It's the AWP. It looks cool. It's fine. It's definitely worth it.
Oh, CS Energy has worked. He manages to get the pick onto Brugeman, and this is going to make him a bit more, I guess, like confident in his sniper gameplay. Rotates around, gets a buff from his medic, and with Brugeman still down for a couple of seconds, spots the medic for half a second. Can't quite spot his head, however, and with Nebo still kind of waiting around. Oh, nice rocket by Rons. Even manages to get him, even though he was basically on the health pack there. So this has to give a bit of respite to Forfence. Maybe even a chance to push out here as they lose Haunts during all that chaos.
Yeah, it's a two-man advantage, so to speak. But looks like they're just going to try and see if we can get the demo man. Unable to do so. They're going to lose a single soldier. They're going to be one soldier down for this last hold here. That's pretty acceptable. Even have Nevon spy. Okay, he's just checking. So I think he saw that Inso went sniper once again. But he's just going to go back to sniper because the best counter to sniper happens to kind of be sniper.
I mean, I'm seeing a lot of teleporters being built here, and I'm spending way too much brain power wondering why. Why are they building all these teleporters? He hasn't even finished his sentry gun.
Yeah, that's a little weird. You can obviously do stuff where you can make it so that a medic can switch sides really quickly or something like that, or you can put them at the entrance so if they Uber in, you can go onto them, you can threaten.
Oh, the sniper onto Juxta, the body shots! That hurts even more than the headshot, and yeah, the sentry gun can't really defend against that. They've got so much cap time that Uber just rings out immediately. They just want to get people into the fight and fighting, and the scouts know what's valuable. It's that point, baby. They get their round. They're back in the driver's seat.
I was so busy looking at teleporter entrances that I just completely missed that he got a nice angle there. But very, very clean execution at the post once they got the medic pick. Immediately got in there, killed everyone, put pressure on the point, saved everyone with Ubers, cleaned up some more, capped it out. Easy. That looked easy, TurboTax.
Yeah, that was bad positioning from Juxta there. You on last, you should know that there's a sniper coming. You've got all the tools at your disposal to know that this would happen. So they're now punished. They get a round down. They have to try and dig deep on this Uber, this mid, I should say. And they do get the Horns kill. He went aggressive, and you know what Caveman TF2 ends in, Beta? It ends in death.
Yeah, especially They took the smart way out here, MANDEM. They were just like, oh, okay, we're one person down. Let's just stabilize here on second to make sure that nothing really bad happens. Ron's going to be kind of aggressive here, pushing forward with QB as well. QB's actually in for lower. Okay, somehow gets just shot way back there as Bruceman was jumping in. Gets a lot of damage onto June.
Oh no, everybody's dying on the opposing flanks and doorway as Scout goes down at choke. Rons and Nevo and Brugeman go down on the flank, trying to get the pick onto June, and I think maybe one less dying soul there. They could maybe justify a mid-hold, but they can't anymore. They have to give it up, and now they've kind of mirrored each other's sort of situation.
Okay, doesn't quite find anything, but they're going to be jumping Juxta, who surfs out pretty well here. Lardox will go down immediately, but they do eventually end up popping just to save all their players. And yeah, June is just out.
They have to chase. They have 2 players down. This is a key moment for them. But Horns has already kind of set up for any sort of players entering through one doorway. That's bought some time for his team, and he's going to get respawned as they actually decide to pop off the Uber to get aggressive. They managed to not get everybody out, however. Juxta goes down at the choke as well. A perfectly executed decision to get that Uber charge in.
It's so unfortunate there that Juxta just catches that pipe at the very end. It was a pretty decent attempt at escaping there. And they're just building up on last. They have a heavy and a sentry gun building. You can see they're just clearing out second point. They don't want to go too fast in MANDEM. They want to make sure they clear everything. Also, they have a bit of downtime before the Uber actually kicks in. They're not going to go in before they have that full 100%. They want to be invulnerable and shiny as they pop in through this door. Rons is on Sniper. Pretty interesting to see Rons on Sniper. Usually it's a scout, but they already have a heavy and a sniper, or sorry, and an engineer. So yeah, just all off classes here.
Yeah, they pop in. They use majority of that Uber to take out the sentry gun. The Boulder taking the sword lift up to try and get up to the top floor, but up going down. VIPs only, it seems, and MANDEM are not on the list.
Oh, June can't even escape. This is bad. Oh, just gonna get taken down as well. A late death. That was brutal. It was just they tried to get into the bunker, and yeah, no one else allowed. Only blue players in there. That's for sure. Gonna come in. There's a heavy info spawn. I was gonna say there's a sniper in there, but that's apparently a heavy. The sniper's actually outside of spawn, I think.
Interesting.
Yep. Okay,
wow. I mean, yeah, it had me distracted. I would be looking at the annoying heavy at the forward, just pelting 5 damage into me at a constant rate. So, and Haunts wants to hold it, go for this, gets the pick onto the Uber charge of Forfence, and they're still capping during all this chaos. And maybe give some room for Insu to get some sniping off here. You don't really see this situation happen many a time where things are this loose and fast. Sniper gets the pick onto Brugeman. QB dedicated himself in, gets the pick onto Boulder, gets out as well, gets the health back, and he's making them nervous. So they have to bring back all their units. That's a very, very big play coming out from QB there.
Yeah, he just did his best Neo impression there, just dodging those rockets. I'm not quite sure how he survived that, but just going in flanking like that, 1v1ing a fully buffed scout and then just getting out somehow. Really big play there by him. He will end up getting piped there by Fancy, but you can see this Uber advantage that they're just not really using right now. And that's all because they got so delayed by that QB play. And as they finally come in here, Jux is about to have his own Uber.
Yeah, they are trying to get some soldiers onto just anybody there. Get some spam in, get some easy picks. Oh, they've overextended ever so slightly. Slight weakness in trying to chase these soldiers. And Brugeman tries to lay out some damage for them to kind of follow up it. The scout is in. Nevo gets the kill. Fancy's also going to go down. And QB has got a playground to play with. It is a scout versus the world. He's going to back out with his world in his back pocket. That's June, and that's that Uber charge.
The sentry gun hasn't even been built yet, so they could absolutely send in players if they wanted to. Looks like Ron's going to try his best, but as it turns out, June was at the complete opposite side of the point with like a heavy and 2 soldiers between her and Ron. So Ron's unable to really get anything, but he could switch to sniper. He could hold the door open. He could go for man treads, even go for some banner. He's planning some stuff. He's standing in the doorway. There's a scout in there with him now. I think Scout's just going to stand there and wait until they get tired of actually checking for off classes.
So I think he's waiting for them to do the usual class checking time, and then when this team says, okay, you're ready to go in now, they will go in, and Brugman goes down. They'll probably go back out again.
Yeah, okay, QB chooses this time to go spy and run. I guess if he waited until Brugman comes back, it becomes too obvious once again, because then you can switch off. Whereas now he's going to be a little bit farther forward, I guess, but he's also taking his time. Like,
this
QB realizes he's not behind enemy lines yet, right?
I mean, maybe he might resign himself a little bit. I think he went out of the respawn and then Brugman died. So this usually means it's Q for somebody to kind of class check here. But in all the intensity, they haven't done any such thing, Beta.
No, not quite. They might try to. Okay, they send in Rons and Brugman. Okay, so now they're both down here. So
okay, with Fancy down, and they've got the security camera set up, so nobody really wants to class check right now. QB is decloaked now, literally in front of everybody, and gets the kill onto the medic. So with the Uber charge out, he even gets out as well. He can contribute to this Uber push, maybe even a sap. Zoe decides to change the sentry gun spot into a sneaky position. They want to get all their troops ready for this last push. They're going to send back, I think, their spy.
He's running back. He's running back to spawn and switching to scout again. And he was just holding the door open. Very clean. I can't believe Balder didn't spot that spy or hear him. Like he was just sniping right behind him, right? But hey, if you don't go for gold, you're not going to win. And there we go. That was a huge play. Full fence. They have about 6.5 minutes to come back in this game, and this is a great opportunity to even up the scores.
Peekaboo found the sentry gun, and they've switched off now onto the scout. They've already got Boulder on this heavy weapons guy holding the top area. Brugman goes down trying to puncture the bunker, and yeah, they actually lose a couple of souls. They might be able to re-enter this fight. This heavy weapons guy needs to put in a lot of work, and they're getting chipped off one by one. Bullying, no amount of crossbow seems to even out. Bill is the last one to make this defense happen. It's 2-2 with 6 minutes left, Peter. I don't think we're going to get any more round resets.
Nope, that's definitely not going to be in the cards here. That was a, well, I'm not going to say it was a clean push, but it was pretty damn good. And like just the presence of mind to realize that, okay, we have one man up. Everything else is kind of even. We just need to go back in there. It's a really good counter push there coming in. Soldiers are being kind of passive for once here, so I think the demos are very happy on this mid for once here. So Rons is going to be kind of going behind and steal the enemy kit here.
Yeah, they throw both soldiers behind. This seems to be a play that they love to make because it forces Juxta into an uncomfortable situation. They usually want the medics to have a way to get out, and it makes them have to rotate round. There's no go backing out options here, but it's about who can keep whose team alive, and they have 2 less people on the squad. That's enough players for them to spend. They just pop off Uber here, hoping maybe they can catch them before they have their own Uber. They've used the Uber now. Fancy manages to get out, and they actually managed to get everybody else out, saving Private June as they managed to weasel out through IT during all of that Uber charge exchange. How can you lose track of them, Beta, like that?
It's kind of crazy. Okay, we have some more soldiers coming in. Both Rons and Brugman definitely doing their best here to just distract, but one of them will pay for it with their life. They get Lardax and choke as well, however, and I think this is going to be that for that. Delhi is going to be able to lock down the chokes here, but yeah, what an escape there from June. Just, I don't know, one door was deaf, the other one was barely just able to survive and just pick the right one immediately.
They are going for gold here on full fence. They haven't even got everybody up. They don't like waiting around. Boulder goes out. They get a crossbow up. There's only a level 1 sentry gun. Rons jumps into it, however. He goes down, but he takes the sentry gun with him. Brugman even getting the kill onto Horns. This man is living 7 lives right now. He's coming back in. He's spamming down the The enemy medic gets the force out with the Uber charge. They want to stay in for this. They pop off the Uber. Blue light to go. They're already capping the point. Soldiers reconnect, try and block off the point. Respawners have come back, managed to get Juxter out. Nevo's turning around. He's going back in, goes down, and they have to hold back on second. No round resets. They're pushing out here, Peter. They don't like being at last anymore.
Oh my god, Inso's right behind. Nobody's spotted him.
So he gets the kill onto Juxter. Oh no, and they actually get a couple of kills onto Haunts as well. Everybody's backed out to last. They're just trying to keep everyone on top of June. No more deaths now. 3 minutes left. Do they dare push out, Beta, with this Uber?
They kind of have to, right? Like, you gotta. Because if you just sit on last, the only thing that can happen is, best case scenario, is a tie. All right, so you kind of have to. Right.
Bronze.
Surely.
Feed. Bronze. Brugesman, excuse me. You've got a delivery, sir. Sign here and here. Tip me. Oh my god. Why did they feed their life away like that? I guess they're scared of this Uber charge push, but it's a second hold.
Yeah, I think they just figured June would be easy pickings there inside that tunnel, but there's just enough space between her and everyone else and enough bodies in the way that it just happened to not work out. I'm not that mad at the bomb in there from the two soldiers. But when you know where the medic is in a tight area like that, I think it's an okay chance to take. But as a result, they're going to fail here. And while they were looking to push into last, now they're actually holding their own second. And it's going to be very difficult for them to actually be able to come back.
2 minutes left. Boulder is trying to disarm bombs and just make an efficient walkway for them right now. Rollers, rockets, stickies, Secret 8 Lardux is even tanking a pipe here and two. And yeah,
Inso's in again. Inso's in again. He's in behind lines. I can't believe he keeps getting away with this.
That's 2 down though. That's an extra head compared to the rest of Mandem, and decide to back out. 1 minute left. It's going to have to be a quick round if Forfens are going to make the topsy-turvy here, but I think we're going to look at a very golden end here, Beta.
It's basically all up to Mandem to make something happen here, because they are the ones that can actually push in here and not give the enemy team enough time to push all the way back. It's going to be pretty difficult to time out, but I feel like you can definitely go for some weird plays here, as looks like they're going to just be putting pressure on the sewer area. And then I assume they might jump in Lardux.
Oh, June forced so much spam, and this is a very, very poor Uber. I don't think Juxta even needs to use Uber, as they just back out here. They maybe wanted to get the pick onto June, but decide to back out very early. I like this play because they have just 40 seconds left. They don't want to risk anything here, and with 100% Uber charge over on Forfens, they don't want to push, Bisa. They don't
believe they can make it in time. They haven't seen TZM play the glory days of Byte. I guess it makes some sense.
Oh, Haunts. He actually he does use the Uber very early. I don't know what earth where a 150 damaging rocket would have came out, but I ain't risking it.
Point of maximizing strats right here. It was to slow them down enough, right, that there's no way they can ever come in until last year. So.
No, fancy my logs.
Oh.
Stalemate.
Ruined. There we go. 2-2. We're going to have to settle with the golden cap.
Oh my god. Beta, there's so much to bite into about this game. It seems Mandem have a very tight ship until these sorts of important moments, these fringe moments, and all it takes is those one little mess-ups out of those 100 times, and it just seems to bite them. No more clash checking. They were so good about it earlier, but now they just seem to kind of forget about that aspect. And Forfens are getting clutch. They're getting brave. A lot of teams I wouldn't expect to push there, and Mandem are shocked as well.
Yeah, but I like that they're actually playing to win. Actually taking some small chances there to get some big rewards. I like that. And I don't know. It's going to be really, really tricky here. Because I kind of figure MANDEM, it feels like when things are slowed down, it's kind of fine for them. Just as long as they don't get off-classed, basically. Right? Sniper, spy. Don't have that happen to you, and just keep it somewhat organized. Boulder will just take you to the grand final. Don't worry about it. He's got you.
I will give this to Forfence, though. They seem to have figured out what's going wrong on their mids. You see the adaptation and the conservative play is working out for them. So even when MANDEM do these sort of double soldier behind plays, forcing Juxta's hand to stay in this mid, if they just start winning the mids, a medic being forward isn't a bad thing anymore.
No, it's sometimes it's more important to get some heals in so you can actually win the fight than it is to keep your medic perfectly safe. It's always a really careful balance that you have to just skirt there, because you don't want to just die unnecessarily, but you also don't want to not pump out the amount of heals that you could. And what you prioritize is kind of different. It's basic, like the most basic version of it is that if your opponents keep just bombing your medic, just put your medic somewhere far back. So like when they jump in, you can just pick them off and you can keep your medic safe. In that situation, medic security is key. Whereas if they just kind of sit back there and you keep your medic back and you don't get enough heals out, then you're just going to lose the spam war, right? But everything is not as black and white. It's a lot more gray. There's a lot of small micro adjustments you need to do all the time. So time will tell here. Have they actually figured each other out? Can they know it? Can they adjust? Can they come up with something new and exciting? I'm going to see Sniper to mid. I'm going to see Spy to mid. No, we're not. But you have to just keep everything in mind here. This is basically Forfence's big chance here to like really rattle MANDEM. I honestly feel like if MANDEM lose this, they're going to lose the third map as well.
This man he's called the first map. Can he predict the second map? I'm locking you in, Beta. I want these crystal balls, and I want to see if my my Oracle can tell me the lottery numbers later on, as we're going to go into this golden cap now. These teams are probably chatting at 1,000 words per minute. I wouldn't be surprised if they're planning their shots on mid, like who shoots where and whatnot, down to these mere moments. And I mean, who do you favor in these sort of like very planned golden cap pressure, golden cap planned places here? Do you go with the easy pick of MANDEM, or a Forfence just got that sort of like belief in them now?
I definitely think the momentum goes a bit in Forfence's favor, but I have this feeling that MANDEM's going to win this. I think they're strong enough. I think they've had enough hardships. They had enough battle scars. They're going to know what to do. They're just going to take it home now. That is my honest feeling. But as I said, if they lose here, I wouldn't be surprised if they're mentally shattered and they lose the third map. So this is important for them.
All right, Beta. In the spirit of Golden Cap, you've been talking about a lot of grey, and let's talk about who's just been playing absolute gold in TF2. And I'm already going to get you started here by picking the obvious choice. QB has been fantastic.
Yes. Just really, really strong flank play. Does a ton of damage. Yeah. And that doesn't really surprise me. I feel like he's always been really strong, and especially on off classes. We haven't actually seen him snipe so far this map. It was maybe a bit surprising. I guess he's just been playing heavy and engineer on last. It can kind of be random whether or not you get to do that, right? Because it's just, first scout that spawns, will just go engineer and start building a sentry gun. You don't want to waste time on that, even if you have one who's a slightly better sniper. But I wouldn't be surprised if we get to see a bit of a QB sniper. It's very normal for these golden caps to slow way down, people getting very apprehensive, not wanting to throw the map. So they just slow it way down, and then they start playing with like snipers. Just take all the speed and momentum out of the map and just hope that one of your guys can go absolutely huge and just win it for your team.
All right, Beta. Like, I saw a lot of plays happening. We must have seen the Boulder play of pushing. Oh, no, no time to talk about plays. It's only time to play. If you're just joining us, this is the upper bracket final. This is our second map. It's the match point here for MANDEM, unless Forfence takes us to a third map. And already, look at these planned rockets. They're spamming the choke here, Beta.
But anything else? Oh my God, QB's gonna just immediately do down. Rons will, however, immediately avenge him as well.
And he gets out as well. Very important here. They're not quite committed fully here. Okay, now they're looking a lot more committed over on Forfence, though. This mid is going to end in bloodshed here, Beta.
They've changed sides. You can't retreat. If you retreat now, you're just going into enemy territory. Deli gets jumped there. He's a big rocket, but it looks like he's not going to be taken down.
Both teams have a scout coming in from behind, though, so they have to keep on top of this idea. Rons is fighting off against that scout that's coming in. Reinforcements has arrived. They re-rotated around, and they're using their scout instead to get their agent out of there. Oh, Jugster has to use his Uber, and in this desperate sort of play, they're thinking maybe we can get on top of June. They even use a crossbow to try and get June down, but no, it won't work out. 100% Uber charge. The blueprint is here for MANDEM to finish this, Beta.
Yeah, that scout coming in from behind was so big there for MANDEM. Looks like, unfortunately, they didn't manage to get Deli as well. He went down to 1 hit point. That's a big hit point right there in this game. They're gonna take it very slow, even though they have this big Uber ad. They don't want to do anything reckless, but they need to be kind of quick.
Yeah, everyone got out there. They delayed a little bit of time, but they're not wasting any time over on MANDEM. They're already knocking at the door. Boulder is already got his foot in the door. They're not even. The building essentially got in front of them. It's kind of, arrogance, honestly.
Yeah, to think that could work, absolute ridiculous. But they're already in. They know there's Ubers on both teams now, though. But look at this.
They've got one door on lockdown, though. Nevo is trying to use the door to maybe get a snipe. They get the kill onto Haunts, who overextends, and they actually lose a lot of players. There's a pause happening at a golden cap. How is this legal?
Oh, please tell me that they didn't have someone raise and just kick the server or something, and then now the server is dead. Okay, it is an actual pause. Thank God. I was getting nervous, but I guess that's a small spoiler there for the map going a little bit longer.
This is a cliffhanger, okay? This is the kind of scene we'd set the season on if we wanted to be renewed for next season.
Yeah. But look at that. It's just going to be June trying to run away with her 2 scouts.
Oh, no. I can see the scout, and the scout can see the sight line. I'm going to cut off this medic, force out the Zuba charge. Easy. Well, I mean, they could chariot in. We know that this doesn't end in just a regular cap for MANDEM, because who in their right mind would kind of pause just before the game finishes? Right?
As long as Juxta stays away. Okay, here we go. QB just barrels in here. Soda's going to come in as well. Actually takes down Boulder. He cannot protect you now. And looks like he's going to pop on the scout.
They pop the Uber and they save. Yeah, they save Insu, but they might not be able to get Juna. Being juggled, get the cap instead and have the 100% Uber charge. This is scary territory. That nice blueprint, says Forfence. Mind if we borrow it? Rons is in, and Rons is going to go out. They use the Uber aggressively. They want to keep their man alive, but he goes down after all the effort. Haunts goes behind and causes some mayhem. I think he might have even had some... Oh, the Fancy even cuts them off at the choke area. It's gone absolute disaster. The DM has been enabled, the mod DM. They've got the mid capture on lockdown, but they do have June with that forward respawn, so they're gonna have healed players entering this fight. They have the capture, but are they just gonna lose it straight away again?
It definitely looks that way. I don't think they get enough forward spawns to really contest this properly. They are sending, actually, they have everyone in here. Wow.
It's time for another mid fight. Both soldiers, Caveman, TF2. The Caveman wings! They get the June kill. Keep Jugster alive. Jugster already onto fire, goes down, and they've shared a lot of damage here over on Forfence. Everyone's scattered. Somebody's left the server, Peter. Okay, that's where the pause happened.
All right, okay. So someone dropped. Man, this is such a chaotic moment, but eventually they are gonna get the INSO 4K.
Oh, they got
clean them
lots
up.
of forwards though. Everybody's forward. Are they really going to cope cap this over on the MANDEM? Come now.
Oh, nope, they get blocked at the very last second here. Hans goes down as he tries to retreat. They are going to actually get two really nice picks here. This is all
they're going to get
around.
the forward respawn. Brugman doesn't get the memo about the rest of his team deciding to stay in. Delhi gets overwhelmed because of that as well. The soldiers are baiting their team into fights they don't want to play. And now they're back at last with everybody here on the point. They're already in. They're not even waiting for an Uber charge. The scout is already attested to sticking on this point. Lardox is in. Big bomb from the sky. Gets the pick onto the medic. Juxta with his medic down. He has no Uber, no heals, nothing. They're already trying to set up a sentry gun, but I think they might even spam that out. They pop off very early. No sentry gun to initially deal with. Okay, maybe a level 1. They're actually struggling to kill it. Now they get the kill and pick now. A lot of cap time. Brugman enters the fight. A lot more cap time as well. Everybody's standing to attention. Brugman will go down. Heavy has dropped down. The medics come back in time to keep his team. The soldiers are in a very devastating spot, however, for this team to kind of play out this fight. Demoman has been called onto the point. Everyone is staying alive. Delhi is the last one to stay on this point. They're just trying to get everybody. Last soul, pinky toe. Finally, the round ends. And MANDEM are not joking today, sir.
Third place Merchants no more. They are guaranteed at least second. So the curse has been broken. Is this going to be the season where they actually get their championship as well? It's going to be really exciting to see here, but oh man, that was a messy golden cap. I feel like so many things went wrong for both teams over and over again.
Yeah, it was, I mean, credit to Forfence. That was a difficult last to hold, and they were making them sweat for it over on MANDEM. And yeah, I think just there's something in the air, something in the water beast. It comes to these sort of playoff games. People just don't like playing on a Saturday or something. I don't know. They just, the inefficiencies start coming out for both squads, and now it's just to see who kind of knuckles up and makes less mistakes. But you're right. The Battle Scarred team will be our grand finalist. Who they meet is now up for Forfence and Scatter to decide.
Indeed, that's going to be an absolute banger of a match. I think that's going to be probably, as most loser bracket finals tend to be, probably the best game of the entire season. That wouldn't surprise me at all. And that's going to be tomorrow at 5. And then the grand final will be at 21. So basically the same schedule as today, just with even better games.
I'm not even going to humor the logs here because there's just too much clutch gameplay happening. I don't think it's about efficiencies. I don't think it's about who's kind of keeping up regular numbers here. Everybody was just entering these micro situations, and like some deaths are more important than some kills.
Yeah, there is actually a combined log here, so you can actually look at it.
I have a cheeky look, but I don't really see too much. All I see is maybe the soldiers are a bit more death happy over on Forfence. Well, yeah, on Forfence, but they seems to care about that caveman TF2 a bit more outside of the midpoint here. But these mids were much addressed by Forfence in this game, and it really held them into it for the majority of it.
Yeah, very, very fun match overall. I'd say both maps were very fun to watch. The second map going down to the wire and the golden cap with a whole lot of back and forth action. Really good stuff. I can't wait to see what's going to happen tomorrow. Sketa versus Forfence. That is going to be such a good game. So I have very little more to say here. Just I think we should get out of here, Turbo Tabs. Thank you so much to Samus for producing JMac Chill earlier in the day. You guys are heroes. And yeah, Turbo Tabs, do some shout outs and then we can get ready for tomorrow.
I couldn't say better myself. Again, those shout outs were Samus on production, myself and Beta doing this privilege of a cast. The shout out to both of the teams that were played tonight. That was MANDEM and Four Fence. Now, next game will be Four Fence versus Sketter in that low bracket final. That's going to be set for tomorrow, starting around 17 CET. And then we'll see you for the grand final. Obviously, you'll see a different set of casters and production and all of that affair. Otherwise, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.